Alright, so what is good, guys? We are back for another backtesting session. Today is Sunday, June 8th, 4:58 p.m. So let's go right into the backtesting session. Today I'll be backtesting the ICT fair value gap entries. So keep in touch. Good, so it's this one. I need a session with the GBP card. GBP card ICT. Okay, I need GBP card. Yeah, I need GBP, JPY. Which other pair do I need? I need Euro USD. And lastly, I think, okay, let's take a look on gold. I'm trying to see some pairs which would be ideal for ICT. So I'll be backtesting from June 1st, 2023 to June 1st, 2025. I think this is it. Good. GBP card ICT. Let's play this. Good. So GBP card on the daily time frame. This is how it is looking, and I think everything looks great here. Let's remove all these images. Now you can see that we were in an uptrend on the daily, so let's just go to the weekly. Weekly is showing an uptrend, recovering from this drop from 2022. 2023 started right here and we pushed a bit high. So 2022 dropped at the start and then pushed high, and this is where we currently are. So you can see that we have this upside level of liquidity. We have this order block we're reacting from on the weekly. So I think we can mark it. This weekly OB that we're bouncing off of. Weekly order block, and we have buy side right there, because since we're in an uptrend and the corrective move is over, then we can expect the impulsive to push high to this level of buy side liquidity. And daily daily is looking quite nice as well. Anyways, why can't we do something like this instead? Let's use some lines. Yeah. I think it was like this, and I'll put some text here. Weekly OB. Good. So when we go to the weekly, I think you can see that we have the order block starting from here. So this is the weekly order block. Anyways, going back to the daily, you can see that we are pushing high as a reaction from this order block. You can see that we tapped into some fair value gaps, and this one as well, which will be the respected one. And let's look on lower time frame to see how we can target this upwards, this buy side liquidity. So what does the 2 hour look like? 2 hour is showing some signs of bullishness. You can see that we took out a low right there. We swept the liquidity, and here below we have some equal lows, which means there's sell side liquidity below the order block. So if we drop, we will target this sell side. So let's see what the market does, and then we will observe. Then we will play with how the market goes, considering we also have some liquidity taken out up there. So let's see what the market shows us. Let's go to the 1 hour. So 1 hour is also showing some signs of bearish, will might show some sense of bearishness after taking out this low. But you can see that we took out a low right here, and we shifted structure, and then now we are in a fair value gap, which means an entry now wouldn't be a bad one. But let's look for other clear confluences. So going back to the 1 hour, you can see that we had a good sweep right here, a shift would be marked right here, and a retest of the fair value gap right here. So simply is that we have a fair value gap in here, 1 hour fair value gap, and now look at the 30-minute. Consider that we are respecting the fair value gap really nicely, and look at the 15. Yeah, you can see that we have reason to push higher. We have also took out this liquidity. Shift was marked here, and this was the fair value gap. So let's see what the market does here. Okay, it drops. Let's see how it looks in the 1 hour, which means we have now a shift on the 15-minute here. Consider we have a shift, and on the 2 hour we have swept this liquidity, which means 15-minute we've also swept this liquidity. We've shifted right there. Let's remove this and see. Okay, it's already night time, already next day, but what we can see is that if we can retest a fair value gap, we trace to a fair value gap right here, and then we drop to the equal lows we saw earlier. Let's wait for this. Okay, it's dropping without any kind of retracement provided. So maybe I think we might start to look for other entries within the day. So first off, since we have dropped, we've marked a shift right here. So now we would have a bearish bias. In the going back on the 5-minute, you can see that we have a high taken out right here. So we are creating lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower high was created. We swept it, then we dropped, shifting right here and creating this fair value gap. Let's see if this candle respects it. I think it will be respected, and we will drop. Considering how was the 4 hour look, we are at 10, and let's see how the high time frames look at it. Well, we are in an order block on the weekly, but also in these small time frames. So 5-minute now. Let's see how this goes. So we drop 15, which is a good sign that we are respecting this fair value gap, because we didn't take out this candle, didn't go above this candle right there. So entry, because the price hasn't gone too far yet, will be right there. And going back to 2 hour, you can see that the equal lows might be somewhere there, like this. Give us a good 1 to 3. So I think we can take this trade and see how it plays out. So back to the 15-minute, we'll be risking 2%. Let's run the trade. Okay, we hit TP straight, and it was hit before 16, which means it was hit before market close, and this was a really good trade here. You can see it took 5 hours, but it was a really nice trade. So let's look for another entry on the next day. So first off, you can see that our bias is still bearish since we are in that weekly order block, which is marked by this line. So under here is that weekly order block and a good entry off of it. And maybe we might expect a good continuation to the downside and take up these lows. Yeah, so let's see, we'll just observe and then react and execute. That's how it should be working. Anyways, let's go to, I think we'll go to 1 hour now. Okay, good. Let's wait for New York session to reach. Wait a minute, we were a bit late. We let it run. It's because we were on the 4 hour. My apologies. Good. Anyways, let's just read it in hindsight and see. So first off, on the day when the day started, we dropped, created a fair value gap, retraced back to it but didn't respect it, as you can see here. So this was a good buy side which was taken out, as you can see. So it continued pushing higher and higher and did some consolidation. So basically no big market moves, but let's see if there was an entry on the 15-minute. On the 15-minute, what we're basically looking for is, did we have a sweep of liquidity? If yes, then we continue. Did you have a shift? Did you have a fair value gap retest, and so on? So we had some BOS right there, fair value gap retest, but at 10 I think there was some news, because that candle isn't usual. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I don't think there were any news on this day. Oh yeah, they were, that's why. It's 5th June 10. Okay, good. So there were some news. Anyways, let's go to the next day, which is obviously, well, Monday, Tuesday. Wait, even Tuesday played out when we were a bit fast, but let's see also what happens on 15-minute on Tuesday. You can see we had these highs from London. You can see that we took them out, and when we go back lower to the 5-minute time frame, you can see that after taking out these highs right here, like this, all these highs were taken out, and then we shifted structure when the recent low was taken out, which is this one. The recent, okay, this is not a really big low, but it's also a low. You can see that we took out this low, and we had the drawn liquidity as this low. I was about to say that these are relatively equal, but they aren't. But this low, yeah. And let us see. It dropped, didn't provide a FVG retest, but let's see. Let's continue. Let's see what happened. So basically, I'm looking for Asia or London low or high to get taken out. We shift structure or continuation. So that's what I'll be trading: continuation or structure shifts. Let's go to the next day. Wait, next day open is, let me configure it again. Next day open, settings 7. Good. I thought so. Next day open. Good. So first off, I think I need to open this session indicator, so I need to mark some stuff. First of all, you can see that the Asian session from here, it created highs and lows, but London took them all, both the lows and the highs. So these are the London lows right here. London low. I think that the London low is almost near the previous day lows. London high, and let's see what happens when New York starts. We're currently at the 5-minute, but when you go to the daily, you can see that we might be about to push higher as a reaction to this order block, even though we might also react to this fair value gap inside of this trade, this fair value gap in there, and then continue dropping until maybe we reach the threshold. Is this called the threshold or consequent encroachment of the order block? Because, well, I don't know if we reached it yet, but if we use a rectangle, we would see it. So from here to here, well, I think we've reached the consequent encroachment, so it will be normal to push high after this move. So this is how the day is looking like, and I believe we will continue to push high and maybe target this level of liquidity. So going out the 1 hour. Good. So we can see that the London lows correspond with this previous daily low, and we have the previous daily high right there, which is the next level of liquidity we should be targeting. So let's go now to the 15-minute and look for an entry. First off, we can see that we shifted structure from this lower high right here. Like we failed to break below this low and then took out here, which means that we have a good BOS on this. If we get a fair value gap on this candle and a retest, then we can enter in this kill zone. So let's see how this behaves. The 5-minute, how does the 5-minute look like? Okay, it's not giving any big signs. What does the 15-minute look like? So 15 try to drop a bit, but you can see that we have now a clear market shift. The good entry would actually have been here, because we took out this low from, wait, where was this low from? It was from yesterday. Didn't take out this one though, but we swept it, pushed higher, shifted structure on this low, then we tested at 6 in the morning, and then we pushed higher. Well, you can expect that because this is London session, and London session is also active for GBP card. So we end up taking the previous day high, and on the 5-minute, let's see, you can see that we had some entries here and a good order block retest, retracement. So did we touch this? You can see that we touched it by a small tick. What I mean is this and this order block, this small one, still we touched it by a tick and we can enter off of it. Let's wait for 10 and see. You can see, oh, I think this was some news. Good thing we didn't enter. Okay, let's see news, past and future. I think this was some news for real, because this isn't a usual candle. It's taking time to load, but 15, how does the 15-minute look like? We dropped again after taking out this previous day high on Tuesday, June 13th. Which day is this? It's Wednesday, June 23rd. So there were no news apparently. June 23rd. Funny. But yeah. Well, let's see the medium impact, low impact. So nothing at. So there were no news there. Anyways. Okay, so let's see. We can declare a shift right there. And we have a small retracement to the fair value gap, and then we drop the previous daily low. And so we end up taking out the previous daily low. So they was really volatile, but we didn't get an entry. So let's go to the next day. Alright, so first off, we got the daily. See how it's looking like. So the daily is still dropping, and maybe we are at some levels of this weekly order block, and considerately we can have these equal lows tapped into if we continue to drop. So these equal lows will be a great draw on liquidity. So on the hourly time frame, you can see that took out this liquidity resting up there, and we shifted structure right there, which means dropping is something certain. I think I have to hide this for some minutes. Okay, and yeah, so all we want to see is basically a drop to the downside, and you can see that we had some relatively equal highs taken out here as well. So let's see what happens during the daily open. Good. So we're looking at the 5-minute, obviously. And let's see how it moves. So first, I want to first off mark some liquidity levels as well. So London session took off the lows and the highs from Asia, and we can see that this is the London high taken out. Let's peak, let's see. We drop into the fair value gap. So at 8, as New York session opens, we can see that we had a break of structure, retracement. How does the 15-minute look like? Okay, that's not bad. We wanted to see a shift, but looks like we're having a continuation instead to the previous daily high, which was taken out right here at 9:45. So where would a great entry be offered? The moment we take out these highs, consider it's a good break, retracement to the fair value gap in here at 7:25, something like this. So will this be a good entry? I really don't know as well. But since the candles closed above, this wouldn't be a sweep. It would be a sweep if the candles were behaving abnormally. So along, maybe to target the next liquidity level, which obviously would be the previous daily high. And where is that? I think it's, where is it? Yeah, which would be this one right here. The 5-minute, this wouldn't look bad. I think this trade would be a nice one. But yeah, we'll see it now on the market and see if it's doable. So we continue. It's now 10. GBP card. You can see that we take out this high, this one right there. And which level is this? I think it's still the order block, and it looks like we're about to have a market maker buy model or something like this. Or starting from here, you can see it's a good market maker buy model. So we may expect retracement, then a good push. So does the 15-minute look like? We're in a 15-minute fair value gap, and it's currently 12:30 lunch hour, and it looks like our day is about to be, is still bullish, even though we're in this CB right here. Sorry, 1 hour. Okay, now let's see. Previous day high tagged out, previous day low tagged out at the open, which means, wait, previous day low, this one, we are on Thursday, so previous day low is Wednesday, this one, and it was tagged out obviously, so we can't need to target any of those. Let's go to the next day. Good. So next day, this is how it's looking. First off, at the daily, we can see that we are trying to respect this fair value gap right here, and we are dropping after this POS. Let me hide. I think I'll add this line right here. We have a good, oh god, and POS. Okay, so we have a good break of structure here, and we have this high stake. This high was taken up by a tick, dropped, and then we are retracing to this fair value gap, which means it's just basically the classic ICT entry model, but on the daily time frame, which means it's a good sign that we're about to drop even more. So let's take this as an indicator for the charts to push even lower. So first off, let's see how the sessions look like. So So Asian session created this low and the high. London session took out the low, created a fair value gap right there, and we can see that the London lows, obvious level of liquidity right there. And this is Friday night run. I thought there was an FP. How about the news? What were there? On this day at Friday we had, what news was it? We had the USD report, Baker Hughes or US oil rig count. I think I need the high impact though. Good. The others are just favors of the market. Let's not mind them. Good. So all we can see is that London session really dropped. I think we will also put this on London session, so you can start tracking it somewhere here and take some of these trades instead of taking them from London only, because GBP card obviously is also active in London. Anyways, going to the 15-minute now, we can see that we had a really good drop. So let's see how this candles react. If you get a BOS and a fair value gap, then a good entry, because those are the rules that we are following right here. So 5 minutes, and I'll do something like this. We have a high taken out by a tick right there. Okay, so we push high at the New York Open at 8:30. You can see that we push crazy high, and let's see what happens. So you can see that after taking out these highs from Asia right here, we shift this Asia, liquidity, and this candle that took out the liquidity was also taken out by this false move to the upside, which means you can have standard deviation levels marked from, you can have some standard deviation levels marked from this low to this high, showing us that we will drop up to maybe this level. So yeah, that's how the standard deviation is looking like. And after that sweep, we can see that we have now a shift in structure. So internally in the 5-minute now, we have a sweep, because obviously the 15-minute looks different, but I think we might be about to drop. So how does the 5-minute look like? Let's see how this candle closes. Oh, it's actually closed, but I think we are about to drop. So I'll put my entry right here. Stop loss will be a few pips above this high, and my target will be this London low right there. And well, what a big risk to reward. I'll be risking 1%. So yeah, this is how it's look like. We also have another shift in here, and internally as well, we have a shift from this low. This is a market shift, so you can now adjust it to the 1 minute and see it print the candles. Like, we just don't need to mind about the loss or the what, we just want to see how price action prints. So let's see if we drop to those we were predicting. So London session ended, well, it will end actually right here, so we can just wait until maybe the London lows get taken out or we get stopped out. That's basically what we're waiting for. Either we're stopped out or the London lows get taken out. Anyway, it's already 16, which means the New York session has already ended, so this trade might not even work out, but that was what our analysis looked like. And And as a matter of concern, I would have already exited this trade, because when we reach here, if we were to reach a point like this, I would have already moved my stops to break even. And as the new week starts, I think we can just do the analysis, and maybe we'll let the trade run, even though it's not a good habit to let some trades run overnight. Okay, so we are currently in London session, first off, and we still have a bearish bias, I believe. On the daily, you can see that, okay, well, we were pushing higher, and we might get a reaction off of this fair value gap, and then continue drop, would drop to the downside if the market doesn't reverse on us. And going to the 1 hour, you can see that, yeah, we didn't break above this high. So if we break here, then we will mark a break of structure and shift our bias to bullish, and since this will be a good market maker model until there. So we'll see how it reacts. And the 15-minute is not looking bad. We have these Asian highs, Asian lows taken out. The Asian lows has been taken out, and we still have these Asian highs. Let's wait and see how market reacts to them. So first of all, we get a shift in structure. We go to the 15-minute. It's not that clear, but that's this candle closed below this low, which means it's a good shift in structure. Let's see how market moves now. Okay. So London session, we have the highs from London and the lows. You can see if you can take another entry there dependingly. So the 5-minute is looking kind of nice. Can mark a good shift on a lower time frame, but apparently this is the time frame we're looking at. We have London high right there. Okay. You can see that we took out the London high. Oh, we're still in London. Let's just wait. Okay, looks like London has just ended, but I think we can mark out one thing by the way London closed. We took out the Asian lows before London opened, and then when London closed, it closed, but it had first taken out these highs from Asia right here, which is a really good sweep of liquidity. So this is a good sweep of liquidity. Now you can see that we drop tremendously, and we have a shift. And what does the 15-minute look like? Looks like it's dropping as well. And so the 5-minute can mark a good shift right here. Market shift, and let's see how this goes. If a candle closes below this low, that means we've shifted structure completely, and it's not just a trap. So you can see a small fair value gap retracement, and a continuous drop. So maybe you might expect this higher PD arrays fair value gaps to get retested before we continue the drop to the downside. So you can see that we continue dropping tremendously, and it's still 7. So keep in mind you're still in a trade, and good thing you can see here, have a fair value gap right here, which is still being persistent. You can see that you can see how the candles are closing, and above that you also have this good order block that the market is respecting, which means if you were to enter, you could enter now, then target, I think this was yesterday's low, this is Friday, so this was the previous day low, and the previous day low will be our draw on liquidity. Anyways, so let's see if we can take another short here, and if we get stopped out, then that's it, and if we don't, then well and good. So this will be a good 1 to 2. Let's take another risk. Wait a minute, I can't place an order above another order. Okay, yeah, I can. So if we lose double. If we win, then we win good. wait and see. So you can see take profit is hit on both trades. This is really nice. You can see the account balance is now 111k, and this was a really great backtesting session. So until we meet again, QBCard has been a really good friend. Stay blessed. Peace.